Hi everyone, my name is Michelle. I'm a senior in EECS, and my intervention is going to be tackling an issue that is focused on the EECS department, namely online learning and Zoom proctoring exacerbating inequalities in education. So, the way I want to format this presentation is this left-hand side is really just like a script that I'm going to be referencing, so you don't have to read that, and on the right-hand side I'm going to be showing you some things. So my intervention idea is going to be a document of accommodation requests, but to really understand what this is coming from, I want to backtrack and give you some context of things I've been working on that led up to me wanting to create this document. So I'm on a 7-person team of student leaders. Here they are, this is me, and we meet with the chairs on a bi-weekly basis, with the EECS department chairs, Jeff Boker and John Canny, and they came to us like 2 months ago and was like, help, we don't know what the biggest issues in online learning are. We just know that there are problems, and people are stressed, and people feel lonely, yada yada yada. So help. And we were like, the 7 of us shouldn't try to represent all 3,000 undergrad CS and EE people. How can we best, gather that information? A survey. So we created this survey called the Special Topics Undergraduate Survey, where the special topic is online learning. And I think it's pretty, okay, so this is wait, hold on. This presentation is what we made after sending out the survey, getting responses, analyzing quantitative responses, like on a scale of 1 to 5, those type of questions, doing data analysis, and also qualitative analysis, which is going and reading every single response and what people have to say about the problems they're facing and stuff like that. We synthesized, we analyzed, and then we came up with this presentation together. It's a 40-minute presentation, so we don't have to go through it all. But I wanted to show you the first couple of slides just so you get an idea of what was like. So this is the hook, and this is the first graph we showed them. This is based on the data from the survey. No surprise, stress levels are higher. And then this comedic relief of a meme. Motivation. It's called Stugs. And it's 55 questions. Now here's the part that is really motivating me to do something more. 1,300 responses is a lot of responses. The end of semester survey that EECS sends out usually only gets 800 to 900 responses. And they already take that survey pretty seriously in terms of, just gauging how the student body is. So this is a significant number, and I didn't want to just the only thing we did was make this presentation and give it, so this presentation was given to all CS and EE faculty. And that's what usually happens with the end of semester survey as well. But I kind of want to do something more, demand some action, especially because the issues presented here that are specific to online, they're urgent, right? Next semester is also going to be an online semester. And so if we're going to change something, we need to change it now. Okay, so let me just scroll through this presentation to give you an idea. So we quoted responses, anonymized of course, and, presented some graphs, gave them suggestions on how to tackle problems, gave them the overall sentiment, blah, 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 blah. Lack of collaboration or difficulty of collaboration was another big issue. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that was the gist of the presentation. Well, I didn't want to leave it just at that. I wanted to create something more. So my idea for my intervention is a document like this that I will then send out to the chairs who I now have a working relationship with. So leverage that, get it to the top dogs in the department, and hopefully have them disseminate it around the faculty and craft a reply to us sometime during winter break. So our bi-weekly meetings still go into winter break as well, which is good. The doc, right, as of now, is formatted as 3 columns: accommodations, which are based off of the Stugs presentation and findings we made in Stugs. So for example, one big problem was Zoom proctoring in EECS was not standardized, so students had to learn different proctoring policies for all the classes they were taking, which kind of sucked. And an easy solution is just to standardize, come up with best practices. This will also make being on course staff easier. It'll be easy on the professors, so they don't have to come up with their own policies, just agree on one that everyone uses. And the recommendation, for example, would be one exemplary course that came out from the survey responses was CS 161. And the recommendation would be to model off of their course or talk to the Professor Weaver about it. And this column, Miyoko recommended me add, which I think makes a lot of sense. This is course of action for accountability. So a timeline, for example. I want this to be done by this time, and that to be done by this time. Or, a suggested timeline. And then in maybe like a structure or a format of a response that we want. In this case, it would be straightforward. It would literally just be the list of standardized practices and, a sign-off from professors committing to adhering to these practices and policies for spring 2021. Yeah, and these are some other things that I just thought of. And the goal would be to make this, hopefully with my other student leaders, get their input on this as well, because I don't want to be trying to represent everyone just by myself. And then send it out, and ask them to respond to it, and hopefully push for some change. Yeah, so if you are in EECS or CS, I would love to hear your experience, if you would be willing and able to share that with me with Zoom Learning or Zoom Proctoring. And if you're not in EECS and CS or you've been in student government or worked with faculty and staff and higher-ups in your department, I would also love some advice on how to navigate that bureaucracy and how to get your voice heard. But also, if you're not in any of those things, that's totally fine. I would also love to hear your 2 cents just as a student as well. Okay, cool. Thank you all.